We are delighted this morning that God allowed us to intersect with one who has meant so much to our country, our city. We have crossed paths. We know his commitment to the people. For many years, he loved New York and loved the people of New York. And we have seen that demonstrated in so many ways. I call him the people's governor. And this morning, I want to welcome to our pulpit to speak to us this morning, New York governor, one who have served the country in so many ways, but have served New York, gave New York all he had, and continue to serve New York. So let's stand together and welcome to this pulpit, I said the Reverend, but Governor Andrew Cuomo. Come on up. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. God is great. It is my pleasure to be here today. First to Reverend Neal. I am a big fan of Reverend Neal because of not just what he does for you and for the church and for the community and the city. Reverend Neal has taken the teachings of Jesus Christ outside of this building, and he has brought it to the community. He has brought it to the world. He is a treasure. Thank God for Reverend Neal. Let's give him a big round of applause. John 8:12. Jesus said, I am the light of the world, and he who follows me shall not walk in darkness. I didn't fully appreciate that wisdom until a few years ago when my life was surrounded with darkness. And it was hard for me, even harder for my family. But my faith showed me the way through. It showed me the path to follow. It wasn't easy, but it showed me Governor of New York is not power. There is a higher power, Jesus Christ. It showed me the truth. And it is my honor to join with you today in that worship. And let's speak the truth today, because these are challenging times we live in. Everywhere you look, we have problems. Here, all around the world. And it's election season again. And this one is a wild one. Now, I believe at the end of the day, we're going to see Kamala Harris as President of the United States of America. Why? Because she is smart, she is qualified, she is going to unite the Democrats, she's going to bring a new energy. And because the opponent is Donald Trump, and we've seen that, and we're not going back there again. No how, no way. But I don't think the election itself is going to solve all our problems. Because politics, government, the quote-unquote system isn't working for people on a very basic level. Things are getting worse, not better. And I think it's time that we take a fresh look and take a new perspective when we look at what's going on. First, I have a question for you this morning. I have a test. What is the most important letter that does not appear in the word election, or the word voting, or the word candidate, or debates, or even the words president, governor, assemblyman, senator? The letter is you. The letter is you. And it is metaphoric, because the election is all about you. Who is going to make a difference for you? Who's going to make a difference for your family? Today, government has become a debating society where they're talking about abstract, theoretical ideologies. All talk, no action. All rhetoric, no results. But that's not what it is supposed to be. Government is supposed to be building an accomplishment and improving your life. It is about deeds, not words. Proverbs 24:12. Scripture repeatedly says, judgment will be according to our works. Romans 2:11. God will absolutely judge each person by what he or she does. That should not just be the test on Judgment Day. That should be the test on Election Day. Today we have a great political argument on the Democratic side. Who is more progressive? Who's more progressive? I don't even think they know what the word means, progressive. They talk about it like it's a new concept. FDR started the progressive movement, and that was over 85 years ago. But let's state what should be obvious. You cannot be a progressive if you don't make progress. You can't spell progressive without spelling progress. You want to talk about progressive? FDR, he made progress. Look at what he did. He built the Lincoln Tunnel, the Triborough Bridge, the East River Drive, hospitals, courthouses, libraries. That was progress. I was an FDR progressive Democrat. Getting things done, build a new LaGuardia Airport, a new Kosciuszko Bridge, a new 2nd Avenue subway, new Moynihan train hall, set the highest minimum wage in the United States of America, cut taxes for the middle class, a new JFK on the way, because it was about improving your life. But for all today's talk about being so-called progressives, there is no true progress. In fact, if anything, we're going backwards. Some people think it's progressive to say, defund the police. Yes, in theory. If everybody had an education and everybody had a job, nobody would need to commit a crime. I get the theory, but it's not that simple. Adam and Eve broke the rules in the Garden of Eden. Cain killed his brother Abel. Crime is an ongoing problem, and it is seemingly everywhere today. People are afraid to take the subway, and 70% of the victims of crime are Black and brown New Yorkers. Defund the police are the 3 dumbest words ever uttered in politics. 100,000 migrants in New York City. We are the land of immigrants. We are all immigrants, and we are proud of it. My people are immigrants. We have the Statue of Liberty in our harbor. New York is the capital for immigrants in the United States. It holds the beacon worldwide. But you can't just have 100,000 migrants coming into New York City, and only New York City, nowhere else in the state of New York, only New York City, and leave it all up to New York City to pay for hotels, pay for food, pay for health care. Over $10 billion. No plan by the federal government. No real help from the state. And you take these migrant families that have come thousands of miles and you stick them in a hotel room, no job, no path forward, waiting for years for a hearing. That is not progressive politics. It is unsustainable, and Mayor Adams is right. We need help from the federal government and help from the state, and we need a real plan on how to accept and help migrants. Our public education system, nothing more important than our children, and nothing more important than their future. And their future is their education. Brown versus Board of Education, 70 years ago, said we had 2 education systems, one for the rich, one for the poor. 70 years later, we still do. And if you go to a school on the rich side of town, you're going to get the best education on the globe. And if you go to a school on the poor side of town, you're going to be left behind in a way that you can never catch up. And still today, as we assemble here today, the richer schools get more government money per pupil than the poorer schools. That makes no sense. That is not progressive. That is not what New York is all about. We have thousands of mentally ill people on the streets. Now that's worse than ever. Is it progressive to leave a mentally ill, homeless person who is dangerous to themselves, dangerous to others, to sleep on the street? Do we really believe that is progress? What we're talking about as progressive today is in many cases regressive. And New Yorkers know it. New Yorkers are smart. I don't care what the statistics say. I don't care what the politicians say. We know it. We feel it. We're on the decline. Things are getting worse. Quality of life is getting worse. Things are feeling out of control. And post-COVID, if there's ever really a post-COVID, people are more mobile than ever before. They don't have to stay here. They can move and they can do remote work. And more people moved out of our state over the past 3 years than any state in the United States of America. Think about it. The only population that is increasing is the population of rats. That's the only population that's increasing. So, my friends, it is time to get real. Election day is an opportunity. Forget the personalities, forget the slogans, forget the labels. Remember the only questions that matter. Who is going to help you and your family, and who is going to get the job done? Because this is the greatest city, and this is the greatest state, and this is the greatest nation, because we made it that way, and we can make it that way again. But it starts with YOU. Thank you, and God bless.